What is up, everybody? It is Zadie, and I am here to do a movie review on the movie Leap. So I apologize in advance, my voice is not what it used to be. I got sick, you guys. Long story short. But anyways, let's get moving on. For those of you who are new viewers, welcome. This is my channel where I basically I can't scream now, but I kind of try to scream at things that I like or don't like about movies. So what I'm going to go over are the two main things. First, I have my non-spoiler review. First part of this video is going to be a non-spoiler review where basically I take the rating of the movie, put it in the perspective of kids, and then tell you whether or not I recommend it because I'm in the perspective of kids, and it kind of gives you a non-spoiler like perspective of what the movie may be like and what you might want to get yourself into or not. The next part is my spoiler rant, where I rant about spoilers. I talk about my likes and my dislikes, and so also maybe some things that I would have done differently in the movie or not. Let's get to it. Time for the non-spoiler portion. So for the movie Leap, they gave it a nice and clean PG. The MPAA officially rated this movie PG for, quote, rated PG for some impolite humor and some action. Alright, so let's break this rating down. First, we have the impolite humor part. Okay, so normally when I'm thinking impolite humor, I'm thinking like maybe on the PG-13 side of things, but it wasn't that bad. To be honest, the worst things that I heard were fart jokes and nuts. I didn't really find anything like over the top PG-13 wise. They are literally two like tweens basically. They've been orphans for their whole lives, so they're gonna have some rude humor. And then the second part of the rating is the action sequences that happen. There are only 2 action scenes that I remember clearly that were over the G-rated line. One of the scenes is from an incredible height, and the main character, she's basically trying to not fall off a cliff while backing into the cliff. And then the second scene is a chase scene where they're running into a train, and it's kind of like the intense build-up. I get it. It would be a little bit scarier for a little kid, but not that much. I wouldn't say it would scar them for life like the witch from Snow White would. So I'm going to pull up the frequency chart for the rating that the MPA gave them. I'm rating the inappropriate humor and the action scenes that happen in Leap, and I'm just gonna give it a 2. Basically, it wasn't that great, like moral-wise. I wasn't really affected by it. I don't think anybody else in the theater was when I went with them. I asked some of my friends afterward and they said no, it was actually a good movie. So there you have it. So now that we've kind of leapt into the next conversation is whether or not I'd recommend this movie or not. And I'd say that's a yes. I really enjoyed it. I went with some younger kids who were family friends of mine. They really enjoyed it. This one little girl wanted to be a ballerina afterward, and it was so cute. It was amazing. I think it has some really good stuff in it. I don't think there's anything morally harmful in there. Seriously, I don't think that this is a bad movie. And so that kind of leaps us into our next conversation, which is the magical scale of movies. After I said that I would recommend this movie for younger kids, I'm gonna rate it on a scale of Steamboat Willie to Deadpool. How appropriate was this movie for kids? And I'd say it's like a 1.5, but I'm just gonna round up and round it up to 2, and that is Incredibles. So Leap is rated the same as Incredibles, so if you know what Incredibles is like, you'll kind of know what Leap is like going into the theaters. I'm just giving you some background to get ready for it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. Please go and watch this movie if you have not already. I really liked it. It's originally a French movie, which maybe some stuff got lost in the English translation, because that happens sometimes, but still it was a good movie and I liked it a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching this part of the non-spoiler review. Really hope you guys stay for the next part, which is the spoiler rant. But if this is the last time I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna bid you adieu and head on up to the spoiler rant. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hello to all my amazing friends and potential subscribers. Welcome to the spoiler rant. Alrighty, so Leap is about this orphan girl who dreams of becoming a dancer. For the first time of her life, she gets to actually experience being a dancer. She escapes the orphanage and joins a dancing school. Along the side come all these other characters, like one of her friends is an inventor, and basically that's the gist of the entire plot. Very simple, very nice. I love it when they keep it simple because those are sometimes the best movies ever. So let's talk about the cast. Alrighty, so the cast had a very small amount of people. That's okay. First of all, we have the voice of Felicity, which is Elle Fanning. Elle Fanning played Aurora in Maleficent. I didn't really like her in this role, and in this role I think she had too much of an adult voice for a tween. Now, I get it, not all tweens have that voice crack stage. I didn't. There are generalizations that I'm making that may not be true for people, but in general, tweens don't usually have a very mature voice, and I felt like Elle Fanning just didn't have the right voice for Felicie in the English role. I don't know what her voice sounded like in French, but I'm going off of the English version. I really like the character of Felicie. I think she had some good character development. I really liked her in all of the trailers, and I loved her in the movie. Moving on. Next, we have the voice of Victor, who is Dane DeHaan. I didn't know that walking into the theater, and I didn't know that until I started this video. All I'm saying is the guy surprised me. I did not expect him being in this kid's role. I'm used to seeing him in these more adult roles where he's, playing within himself, not really going outside of his comfort zone. So it was nice to see him in this kind of role. And then lastly, we have Carly Rae Jepsen as the voice of Odette. See, I'm used to Carly Rae Jepsen being a recording artist, but I did like her in this role of Leap just because her voice kind of fit the role that she was playing. It was really nice to see her in this. I really liked her voice. They did a good job casting that. Moving on to plot. Sometimes the more simple you are, the better the movie is. Now, granted, there's like The Matrix, which has a super complicated plot, but that's an exception. What I think that kids' movies do a really good job of is keeping the plot simple and the moral of the story very clear. I enjoyed the plot. The character arcs were okay. I didn't say they were the best, but they were good for a kids movie, and I really liked it. It's one of those movies that I can watch and actually enjoy the movie and not try to figure out what does the shoe dropped in the staircase mean. So some of the things that I liked were, I really liked the animation. I think that it was a very nice, smooth, and very fluid animation because I feel like ballerinas need to have a lot of fluidity in their motions, and so this animation was very good for that. It also gave the whole movie this sort of very free movement. Nothing was very constricted to like season 1 of RWBY. I also liked Odette's character a lot, probably because she was very well developed, well rounded, and I just enjoyed watching her on screen. She was very believable. She's probably my favorite character in that movie. Now let's move on to stuff I did not like about the movie. I've already mentioned this before. I did not like Felicie's voice that much. I think it was too mature because she is a tween. She's supposed to only be about 12? And so that's a little bit of a problem for me. But I understand. Casting is hard. Another thing that I didn't like was Demi Lovato's confident in the soundtrack, in the dance battle scene. The dance battle scene was amazing by itself. I just wish they picked a different track for it. Something more classical and not less modern, because you don't see that in the French period that they were in. So I don't understand why we would put a Demi Lovato song in a movie like that. Even though it is an epic song, I would have preferred an instrumental, more classical feel to this, so it would give it even more epicness and set the tone, and that it's not just a battle, it's fighting for a role, and you're fighting in a ballet setting. You're not just fighting like catfight. Another thing I didn't like was the main villainess of the story. I don't know what her main motive was. So to wrap this all up, I do recommend this movie. I like this movie a lot. Don't think that all the negative stuff that I said makes me lose appreciation for the movie. Anybody who can make a movie to the box office has respect, in my opinion. So my question to you guys is, did this movie make you want to be a dancer in any sort of way or form? It could have been ballet, could have been hip-hop, or maybe even contemporary or something like that. I don't know. Answer that in the comments below. If you don't, I'll cry in my sleep. I will meet you on the other side of the screen. See ya!